we're going to be walking through how to use Pivot. So let me log out really quickly to show you what the main screen looks like. So this is the main screen. You're going to go to pivot.proquest.com. And we are not listed here in the institution, so you're going to go ahead and create an account. Now, when you go to create an account, this might take a second. Oh, there we go. Good. You're going to go ahead and use your email address and create a password. And you're going to put your institutional email in. Once you create that, it's going to have you confirm your email. Well, you're going to create your account, and then it's going to confirm your email and send you back to the login page. Now, I already have one set up, so I'm going to log into my account. And this is going to look a little bit different for me because, again, I already have an account. But when you go and set it up, it's going to ask you to set up your profile. Now, your profile is the most important thing and kind of the starting point from where Pivot will begin to give you recommendations based on your research interests. Those recommendations sit in Advisor, which you can find here, or in Home and then Advisor. So when you first set it up, again, it's gonna cue you to start setting up your profile. But for me, I'm gonna go and select my profile. And when you're going in for the very first time, when you haven't had an account, it might also show that you have some accounts to claim, or rather your profiles to claim. In which case you can claim them. You can take a look and say, oh, this isn't me, or claim it if it is. As researchers, you probably have published materials that will pop up in that regard. For me, I didn't have anything, so mine was blank, which is fine. That's where you're gonna want to go and edit your profile. Again, this screen might look a little bit different for when you're setting it up for the first time. As you can see, I've already put in some information. Say I want to add, or I am going to be editing from that starting up page. That's where you can go into here and you can add anything else. Now, whatever you put into this thing, it's going to send you those Advisor emails with updated lists of recommendations. Now, say that this looks good. We can also take a tour to look through what this is. But this is where I would spend a decent minute of time adding information in to make sure that this is as complete as possible. Once you're done, you're going to save your profile, and then you can see that again on your profile, updated with that information. Now, I currently have 319 funding opportunities. Those are all going to be listed in my alerts. So there we go, 319. And wow, that's a great number coming directly from Pivot, looking at what they think I might be interested in. The number one thing you also want to do with this is make sure this Advisor alert email is checked. The other spot that you can double check this in your preferences, in the email notifications, which loads here in a second. There we go. Alerts, sorry, not email notifications. You're just going to say, I want mine checked. And then you can also say what stage of career you are for those Advisor alerts. The other thing you can check is your opportunities that are going to be tracked. So those are ones that say, I'm really interested in this opportunity, but it's a year ahead. I want to stay up to date, or it is anticipated and I don't know what's going to happen. I want to hear about that, let's say every month, right? So that's where that's going to sit. Now, let's go back to home briefly so you can see. So again, those are where those tracked opportunities are, and I'll walk through how to make something a tracked opportunity. And then we have our advisors, as well as curated ops, and then our saved searches. So I'm going to spend a good bit of time today walking through how to set up those saved searches. So you can search funding opportunities either here, or you can go to funding and then search in that bar. Either is the same difference. Now, today, let's say I want to look at public health. Now, I'm going to search with just that first keyword, just to get us into the search bar. Wow, 711 results. That's a crap ton. I don't necessarily have time to be looking at all of those results. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into advanced search. You can also filter over here on the left, but I would recommend going into the advanced search. Now, you will have to add back in your search. So I can't remember what we had originally put. What was that search for? Public health. There we go. So we're going to put public health back in. say that I'm looking at teens. Now, I also don't necessarily want to limit myself by public, so I'm going to just say health, teens. That's kind of where our keywords are going to sit. Now, we have all these other searches of things that we can include to say, to limit our results. Now, one of the few of the ones that I want to do no matter what on every search is I'm going to say that I'm a U.S. Citizen. If they do not want United States citizens applying to their funding, I do not want to see that grant. The other thing I'm going to always add is your applicant type, academic institution. We are almost always going to be an academic institution in our case. Now, the other things I'm going to always add for me personally, and again, you can play around with which one of these makes sense to you. You can also add like career stage. Say that is something that you think is going to be useful. You can put that there. Is deadlines. And I actually like to put this in the excluding section because I don't want to see anything more than or less than 90 days. So I don't want to see anything within that period. Anything beyond that is the only thing I'm interested in. And I don't really want to select a specific date because then I'm going to have to change that date every single time. And my goal here is to save this search so that Pivot will send me the most relevant opportunities. Now, again, let's say that that's probably where I'm going to stop for now. We can always add more keywords in. We can always put in, we're here. We'll do, let's say we're looking at less than 1 million. Oops. You can also put in more than if you're a researcher looking for multi-year funding. For me, as a graduate student, probably only interested in anything less than that. Say I like this search and I'm really good with what this looks like. Again, take a look at all these others while you add in. One thing I will say, and I recommend this to people, is I don't want to add too many filters on here that I get bogged down with being too hyper specific, and I don't want my filters to accidentally work against each other. So I might create one search with certain keywords and another search with other keywords because I want very specific results, which is why I have all selected, but I don't want to miss out on other things that are related but don't have both health and teens. Maybe it has another kind of word relating to health. Maybe it's not teens. Maybe they use the word adolescents. That's where, or youth even. You could also add those here as well, but I tend to just separate them out into different searches. Either way, we're going to click search. Came out with 0 results. So I'm going to go back in, but I'm going to go to refine search. And I'm going to take out, let's see, what do we think would be limiting that? I'm going to take out graduate and early career. I'm going to take out, now I'm going to leave the 90 days. And I'm going to leave it as health. Let's see what that gets us. Okay, 478. Now let's add back teen and search. 0. Okay, so teen is the thing that is taking that off. What if we put youth? Okay, so that's an example of how you can kind of play with the keywords. And again, why I think having separate searches with certain keywords is fantastic, or rather certain filters. So say I really like all of these, I can select them all or select certain ones and then export. I can also share this with a colleague of mine. I can also track certain ones. So say I'm really interested in this one, I can track it from here. Or if I'm inside the grant and I really like that, again, this one's only for $1,000, so this might be a little bit too low for some of us. I can track it here. I can also share it here. And then you can also see, which is a fun thing, potential collaborators based on their profiles inside your institution and outside. Okay, now let's go ahead and save that. I'm just going to name this health or youth health. And I'm going to try to be under 1 mil, more than 90 days out. We'll add maybe for USA applicants. I tend to add more details on here just so I can keep track of where I'm at with this. Now I'm going to save it. And where does that go? That goes up into our home and then into our saved searches, which you can also get to if you're in home. Now, this is all of the searches I've ever made and saved, but since this is alphabetical, I'm going to go to the very end since I had used Y. So youth, we can see that there was 16 in that result. We're going to double check that our alerts are on. That's where having our alerts being on is really great as well, outside of just the making sure our preferences and the advisor alerts are on. And we can see that advisor alerts are still here, right? We can also go check out our tracked. Now I have these that I've tracked before, and if you open them, right, it'll show you inside that I'm tracking this grant. So that's really great for those anticipated grants that we want to keep in track of. Now that's kind of like the nuts and bolts of tracking, saving searches, and the advisor. Now there's other things that Pivot can do, and I'm not going to spend all of my time today walking through everything, but I wanted to just get us started with our profile and our saved searches. Another thing that's really great is it has conferences here. It'll show your awarded grants that have been awarded recently, and the funders that have funded those, which is great. You can search by year as well. But I hope that was helpful today. Please reach out to our office if you have any questions, or if you'd like to go further into details about different things that Pivot can do and how to make it work for you. But reach out if you have any questions, and I hope this was useful.